Good afternoon. The Gauteng Consumer Court will finally be able to deal with a backlog of consumer grievances. The MEC for the Department of Economic Development, Tasneem Motara, saw in 5 new members and said the move was long overdue after a 6-month hiatus. Business reporter Ntokozo Khumalo has the detailed and filed this report.
The Consumer Court in South Africa's largest economy is back in action after swearing in 5 new members that will be responsible for safeguarding consumers' rights. A Consumer Court is a special purpose court driven by the Consumer Affairs Act and primarily deals with consumer-related disputes, conflicts and grievances. The court holds hearings to adjudicate these disputes free of charge for consumers.
Gauteng, being the biggest and largest economy in the country, accounting for 1/3 of the total GDP, it does indicate that the majority of consumers of goods and services also reside in Gauteng. And therefore, our responsibility to protect those consumers is quite different to any other province.
The court is made up of 5 members, including a chairperson who should be a retired judge, magistrate, attorney, or lecturer with at least 10 years' experience in consumer-facing fields. The new chairperson of the court is now Zandile Mpunguse. The 4 members are Advocate Malisele Pukuche, Paul Samuels, Diane Teleblanche, and Advocate Matsobane Melo. The head of department, Blake Mosley Lefatola, says he is relieved the court is finally going to be back in session to meet the backlog that has grown over the last 6 months while potential members were being nominated. He highlights that the court's mandate is to protect consumers' rights in all spheres, including from illicit goods.
With the increased cost of living, there's also a temptation and for some other entrepreneurs to flood the market with fake goods, which have got harmful effects on us as consumers. So I think that we've got our work cut out, and yourselves in particular as a consumer court, would actually have your work cut out.
The court was established 27 years ago to protect consumers' rights. The Department of Economic Development encourages South Africans to educate themselves on the services the Consumer Court can provide them so that they know which direction to go should they have any consumer grievances. For Newzroom Afrika on Channel 405, I'm Ntokozo Khumalo in Johannesburg.